Sairam students.
Welcome to the first session of chapter 15, that is materials we use. So children, materials we use. So what is this? Whatever day-to-day life, whatever substances we are using, so that we are going to see in this chapter, right? So children, you all know that there are two types of substances. One is man-made and the other is natural substance. So natural substances are those which are available in nature, right? Naturally. And man-made substances are those which are made by man. So you all know, children, that man he always is on the lookout for new things, right? So what he does, he always strives to get new things. So what he does, he takes the natural substance, he chemical processes it, and then it makes a man-made substance, so that the man's life becomes more and more comfortable, right? So what he does, because of that, man, the whatever substances are made by man, it is available on a large quantity. Also it is low on cost also, and it is easier to use also. So man has made this man-made substances. So what is a man-made substance? A new substance produced by the chemical processing of natural substances is called man-made substance, right? So the natural substances which are present in the nature, so that is chemically processed by man, and so it is called as a man-made substance, right? So what is a man-made substance? A new substance produced by the chemical processing of natural substances is called as a man-made substance. Next is natural substance. So substances available in nature are called as natural substances, which occurs naturally, which is there on this earth, right? So that is called as natural substance. So what are natural substances? Substances available in nature are called as natural substances. So now you can see here, children, the picture, right? So what is there in the picture? Acacia bark, neem twigs, right? So do you remember for what these things are used, right? Every day you brush your teeth, right? So how do you brush your teeth? You use a toothpaste for cleaning the teeth, right? So remember, children, nowadays we are using all this toothpaste. So in ancient times, what people used to do, they used to use all these things, right? Acacia bark, neem twigs, these all things they used to use. So neem twigs, you can see the picture, and acacia bark also, right? So let's see. In olden times, what used to happen in India? Acacia bark, neem twigs, coal powder, ash, tooth powder, salt, pomegranate rind. Pomegranate means, rind means the outer part of the skin, right? Were used for cleaning teeth, right? That time toothpaste was not available. So people used all these things for cleaning their teeth, right? So now today a variety of toothpaste and tooth powders are used for cleaning the teeth. Now you can see various brands: Colgate, Dabur, this Patanjali, many brands are there, right, of the toothpaste, right? So before that, children, now this was in olden times. Now before this also, around before 500 BC, right, before Christ, in countries like China, Greek and Rome, there the toothpaste, how they used to prepare, they used to use the mixture of bones and shells, and that was used as a toothpaste. Then, children, later on in the 19th century, what the people used to use, the toothpaste wherein soap was the ingredient, right? And then after that, people started using toothpaste in which chalk like material was there. Then in 1873, this Colgate brand, it came into existence. So Colgate, this brand name is of the toothpaste, but it is Colgate is a name of the company, right? So it was, this toothpaste was commercially brought, and the name became a brand. So now it's a big brand name in India, as well as in outside countries also, right? So this is about the toothpaste. Now we'll see what are natural substances and what are man-made substances. Now you can see here bamboo, right? Now tell me children, this bamboo, it is a natural substance or a man-made substance? It is a natural substance. Brick, it is prepared, right? So by using the cement or by mud powder, these bricks are prepared. So it is a man-made substance. Cotton is a natural substance because it is available in the nature. Then pens also, these are prepared by man. It is not available naturally. Pencils, this is also prepared by man. Wood is present in the nature, right? And nylon, it is a man-made substance, right? Because silk, cotton, these are the naturally occurring substances, but nylon, rayon, terracotta, all this was prepared by man, right? We'll see children what is there in the toothpaste, right? The principal ingredient of a toothpaste are calcium carbonate and calcium hydrogen phosphate, right? Principal means the main ingredient which is there in the toothpaste. So the two main ingredients are calcium carbonate and calcium hydrogen phosphate. Now what is the function of both these ingredients? It removes the dirt on the teeth as well as it polishes the teeth. Whatever dirt is present on your teeth, it is removed because of this ingredient. Also it gives a shine to your teeth. It polishes your teeth, right? So the two principal ingredients of the toothpaste are calcium carbonate and calcium hydrogen phosphate, and both these ingredients, it removes the dirt on the teeth and it polishes the teeth. Now certain proportion of fluoride is present in the toothpaste. The third ingredient is your fluoride. So fluoride is also present in your toothpaste, but in a smaller proportion. And what is the function of fluoride? It helps to prevent tooth decay. Whatever tooth decay problems you feel, that it's because you are not getting sufficient amount of fluoride, right? That amount of fluoride is not present in your toothpaste. So that's the reason you get a tooth decay, right? So the function of fluoride is to prevent tooth decay. It is essential for the strengthening of bones and enamel covering of the teeth. So this fluoride, what it does, it strengthens the bones and also the bones of the teeth as well as the enamel covering. On the covering on our teeth, there is a enamel, right? So that enamel covering also it protects. So fluoride is the third ingredient which is present in the toothpaste in a smaller proportion, and it helps to prevent tooth decay. Also it helps in the strengthening of the bones and the enamel covering of the teeth. Now we are going to see about detergents, right? Now detergent, it is derived from the Latin word detergere, which means to wipe away, right? So detergent, this word has been derived from the Latin word. So you can see children, most of the things they have been derived from our Latin words only. So it means wipe away. So whatever dirt is there, you can wipe it away, remove it with the help of a detergent. So detergent is a substance that cleans or wipes away dirt, right? So detergent is a substance which removes the dirt or cleans the dirt from the any material, right? Now what types of detergents are there? Soap nut, that means Rita. Then soap pot, that is shikekai. Soap, washing soda, washing powder, liquid soap, shampoo. So all these are detergents, right? So you can see here children, this is the figure of Rita and this is the figure of shikakai, and you all have seen the soap which you use daily, right? For washing the clothes. Then shampoos which you use for your hair, right? Washing powder or washing soda which you use for the clothes, right? So all this you have already seen it. Now children, we'll just discuss about one experiment, right? So children, what you have to do, you have to take some water in a clean glass bottle, right? And then you will add some oil to that glass bottle, right? And then you will close it and shake it vigorously. Now you all know that oil, it does not get mixed in water. So oil, it will float on water because water is heavier than the oil, right? So after shaking it vigorously, what do you observe? You will observe that again that oil is floating on water. Now what will you do? You will add a solution of few drops of detergent to this mixture, right? And now again you will shake the bottle vigorously. Vigorously means fast you will shake it, right? So what will happen? Now this water and oil, it will become a homogeneous mixture, means it will become of the same kind, and then the mixture which you see, it will appear as milky. Milky means the somewhat white color, right? So you will see that substance has become milky, right? So that means when you add a detergent to it, it becomes a mixture of the same kind, right? So now let's see why does this happen, means the solution, why it becomes homogeneous. Now molecules of the detergent, they are long, and the properties of its two ends are different. So the detergent molecule which is there, it is long in shape, right? And it has got two ends, right? Like if you take a stick, so stick also has got two ends. So like this molecule of detergent also, it has got two ends. So what does it do? This molecule of detergent, it holds on a water molecule at one end and the oil molecule at the other end. So as I told you, there are two ends. At one end it holds the water molecule and the other end it holds the oil molecule. So what happens? The molecules of the oil, it gets mixes with the water. So this is the way the soap acts when we wash our soiled clothes, right? So when we are washing our clothes which are dirty, so what happens? This oil, it gets mixes with the water, and then the soap acts in this manner, and our clothes which are dirty, it gets cleaned. Our body, clothes, they become oily for various reasons, such as by applying gels or creams, oiling our hair, etc., right? So in our day-to-day life, right, our body, it becomes dirty, right, for various reasons. You go out and you sweat, you apply oil to your hair, or you apply cream to your face, so it becomes oily, right? So the oily layer, it sticks fast to the crisscross threads of the material of our clothes. So whatever oily layer is there, what does it do? It sticks fast to the crisscrossing threads. Crisscross means they are intersecting each other. I'll show you the figure of it. So soap is used for removing it, right? So for removing this oily part, soap is used. Now you can see here, children, in the figure, this is the figure. So these are your crisscross threads, right? They are intersecting each other. So as it has got the property of holding on to both oil and water, soap water spreads easily on many types of surface. So this molecule of this detergent, it has got the property of holding both oil and water. So that's why the soap water, it spreads on any type of surface. And the property of the substance of spreading on a surface is called as surface activity. So what is surface activity? Property of the substance spreading on the surface is called as surface activity, and the substance, that is called as the surfactant. So detergents, they are surface active, right? So one effect of the surface active is lather formation. So lather formation means the bubbles which it comes, that is called as lather formation, right? So detergent, it is a surface active, and its one effect is of lather formation, right? So this is the way the detergents work on the clothes or any substance. So children, this was what in today's session. Let's recap what we have learnt in today's session. So children, first we saw that there are two types of substance. One is a natural substance and the other is the man-made substance. So substances which are available in nature, they are called as natural substances. And what are man-made substances? New substances which are produced by the chemical processing of the natural substance is called as the man-made substance, right? And now children, Then we saw some examples of what are man-made and what are natural substances, right? Then we saw, children, how the toothpaste was invented, right? So earlier in the olden times, instead of toothpaste, what people used to use, they used to use this acacia bark, neem twigs, coal powder, right? The pomegranate outer part of the skin. So these were used as a toothpaste, right? And then in 1873 this Colgate brand came into existence. Before that, other countries also, they were using different types of toothpaste. Like in some toothpaste, soap was the ingredient, in some mixture of bones and shells was there, in some chalk like material was there. Now after that, we saw, children, about the main ingredients of the toothpaste. So what are the two main ingredients of the toothpaste? Calcium carbonate and calcium hydrogen phosphate, right? So these two ingredients, what is their function? It removes the dirt on the teeth and it helps to polish the teeth. Then the third ingredient of the toothpaste was fluoride. So fluoride also, in some proportion, it is being used in the toothpaste. So it helps to prevent tooth decay. So the function of the fluoride is also strengthening of the bones and the enamel covering of the teeth. Enamel covering means, as I told you, the outer covering of the teeth, right? Then we saw, children, how the detergent, it acts, right? So as I told you, the detergent molecules, they are long and it has got two ends. So what happens, at the one end the water molecule is attached and the other end the oil molecule is attached, right? So they come together and then this the activity of the soap is done, right? So for removing the oily parts, these soaps and these detergents are used, right? So the property of the substance spreading on the surface is called as the surface activity, and the substance is said to be the surfactant. So detergents, they are surface active, right? So children, in the next session we'll see about the types of detergent. Till then, goodbye.